Hello. Well, I am here in beautiful Brussels, in I think Grand Palace or something like that. Still learning about the area and where I'm at. And I thought I would just share with you a brief lesson in humility that I just had. Um, so I'm staying. Well, first of all, I'm here in Brussels for a class trip. This is the last part of my master's in business administration program that I'm in. And so we're here in Brussels to learn about international relations, international business. We're going to visit several businesses as well as the U.S. Embassy and some other important places. So yeah, so this morning I'm here early, a day early, to kind of explore a little bit and just get acclimated. Sometimes my body doesn't like doing travel, so I gave myself some extra time. And today I decided I would come here this is the center of Brussels, the kind of the place everybody goes. And so I decided I'd take an Uber. So I hopped in an Uber and came down here, and I have to admit I was a little bit nervous, just with the language barrier. Most people here speak French. And on top of that, when I did my Uber, my driver was Mohammed, and I was like, well, who knows? Maybe Mohammed speaks English. Maybe Mohammed only speaks French. Maybe Mohammed doesn't speak any of the languages that I would expect him to. And Mohammed spoke better English than I do. Mohammed, I sometimes with Uber, I'm always just afraid of interacting with the driver just because I don't know what to say. I had a great conversation with Mohammed. He's practicing free diving and hopes to one day break his record of 10 meters and get down there really deep. Wants to live someplace warm. Was born here in Belgium and loves it here, but wants to move someday to someplace with warm water, as he said. So there's my lesson of the day, and maybe I'll share some more lessons here from Brussels. So if you find yourself in Brussels, I highly recommend a visit to this museum, the Museum of the City of Brussels, I believe, because you're going to learn a lot about Brussels history, which is perhaps obvious. You're going to learn about their resilience, how people of Brussels have rebuilt after catastrophe. In fact, this whole square that I'm in was bombed by King Louis the XIV and burned basically to the ground. I think maybe some of the facades were left, but he destroyed a lot of it. But also, you're going to learn how the people of Brussels have continuously reinvented themselves and moved through different eras where they manufactured different goods, such as porcelain or tapestry. And you're going to get a taste of their unique quirks. Quirks such as the Mannequin piss, which I'll show you here in a second. And also just some random things in their history, such as the time the Guild of Crossbowmen. A lot of these houses around here are guild halls where different guilds of the city were headquartered. And one of those guilds was the Guild of Crossbowmen, and a woman, her name escapes me at the moment, but she participated in a crossbow contest where she shot a crossbow at a bird on top of one of these steeples. I don't think it was here in the square, someplace else in the city, but she successfully hit one from ground level on top of, even taller than that, probably a church. So highly recommend a visit here. Let me show you the Mannequin piss. So this is Mannequin piss, which is apparently the people of Brussels pick as their symbol. It's irreverent, it's immature, and I love it. This used to be on top of a fountain nearby, but it was so popular it kept getting stolen, and so they put this one here and then put a replica in its place. And it's become a symbol that is quite popular. And there's a whole exhibit here of what makes Mannequin piss so interesting and loved by the people of Brussels. So the most impressive building here in Grand Palace is the town hall, and it is still functioning town hall. In fact, today's Saturday, and I believe there's some weddings going on. You can see one of the happy couples right there, having just gotten married. So it's a pretty joyful day. Beautiful sunshine, warm. Good day to get married. This makes me really happy. I'm a big fan of 1010, even though it has some issues these days, and deservedly so. But super cool to see these guys up here in the street. So after I saw the mural, I discovered the store and was reminded, I guess I knew this, but it had been a while, but 1010 is a Belgian invention by the author Henry? No, that's all right. I can't remember the author's name. Shame on me. Yeah, they had so many things in that store that I wanted so badly. Like I'm a little bit weird in that the things that I nerd out about, the things that I'm really passionate about as a fan are Uncle Scrooge comic books and Tintin, both of which have some significant cultural issues these days. So I apologize if you're sensitive to that. Just for me personally, I love it. Now I want to show you the craziness that is Mannequin piss. So this is the crowd that's here to view Mannequin piss. I had a private view of Mannequin piss earlier. Yeah, he's actually hidden today. He's right up there. He's behind that. No idea what that was about. So apparently Mannequin Piss has his own guards and his own dresser. Here we are. This man has a shirt on that says dresser. And then this woman has some sort of official insignia. In other words, Mannequin Piss is a really big deal, guys. Really big. More of the Piss entourage has arrived. Now the photographer is here. Oh my gosh.
Alors, vous êtes prêts? You're ready? Yes? Alors, quand on va chez quelqu'un, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On dit bonjour. Et ici aussi, on dit tac.
Well, I'm not really sure what's happening, but kind of exciting to get caught up in the craziness here. So if you can't get close enough to the actual little pissing boy, this mannequin, whatever you want to call it,
Voilà.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more to being a resident of Brussels than caring about mannequin piss, but I can certainly see the excitement. It was very entertaining, and yeah, it was kind of exciting that I got to see the original, or technically the second mannequin piss in the museum, just before I wandered over here, just in time for that huge spectacle. So apparently, Mannequin Piss has his own whole posse that take care of him, and what a town, what a city. So I'm trying not to get too many souvenirs this trip. I don't have a ton of space in my bags. I couldn't stop myself from investing in this set of Mannequin Piss playing cards, showing off some of the beautiful different costumes that they put on this guy throughout the year. Lest you think I actually know what I'm doing, I have been increasingly using ChatGPT to help me just figure out what I'm doing, both in life and more specifically on this trip. So today I wasn't feeling the best in the morning, so I asked some advice on that, and then I asked what I should do today, and that's what led me to Mannequin Piss. The next thing Chat has told me, there's corgis up ahead. Sorry, I'll blame that on the ADHD. So, corgis behind us now. The next thing on the list, according to sorry, I think there might be like a youth league of Mannequin Piss people too. There's like the older generation, and then there's like a whole group of, I think they were the ones that were dancing before the okay, sorry, anyway, ADHD. I am now walking uphill towards the Museum of Musical Instruments. I have a bit of a history with music, love music, play the double bass and electric bass, so I will be interested to see what that's all about. It's kind of interesting. This building has beautiful modern architecture and the worst cobblestone sidewalk I've seen so far. Doesn't make any sense. Traveling with an ADHD person is probably not a ton of fun because I get distracted by literally everything. That was a really cool little music shop. I just went in really fast. I love going in music stores even if I'm not necessarily in the mood for shopping. There was a double bass in there, but it's kind of hidden behind stuff. Didn't want to bother people. And now I'm taking another little detour down this little alley or street. Somebody's up above looking down. There's these beautiful flowers. I don't know if you can see those, but just gorgeous. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try not to get distracted here. I'm going to try to go there because I understand that there's some sort of rooftop restaurant with an incredible view of Brussels, which sounds pretty great. So, okay, I'm gonna try to focus now. I'm gonna try to get to where I'm trying to go. I'm no expert traveler, but I do have a little bit of advice to share. One of the things I like to do, this both saves battery life on your phone and encourages you to enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. So, wow, look at this beautiful church here. Look at that, gorgeous. So, figure out where you're trying to go on Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever. Figure out what direction you need to go, but then turn off Google and just start walking in that direction. You're going to discover so much more if you're not just looking at the app the whole time. Yeah. So anyway, that's my advice for that. gorgeous. Brussels isn't a bad smelling city compared to many. In fact, it smells quite nice. I will say, being here in this garden, you can really smell whatever these flowers are here. Smells intense and wonderful.
Hasta las rayas verdes de mi socio igual se veían más de color.
Right, there it is. That's the Museum of Musical Instruments. Ew. So the restaurant that was recommended to me is not open, so that's unfortunate, but 'tis life. I gotta find something different for lunch. I don't know if you can see it, but right there is an apple. That is in relation to Magritte. I forget his first name off the top of my head. He's a famous artist. Yesterday, actually, before I got serious with the filming here, I visited this art museum and the Magritte Museum, where I saw several of his famous paintings. You may have seen a painting of a guy wearing a bowler hat with an apple just absolutely centered in front of his face. That is a Magritte. It's not in this museum, but that's why the apple is on the roof. Well, ChatGPT did me right there. While its first option was closed, the second option was really good and had great light lunch. Now on to the Musical Instrument Museum. Okay. Well, if I'm being honest, I've done this narration a couple times, accidentally deleted it once, along with some other clips that were really good. So anyway, let's try this again. Here we are going into one of the 4 floors at the music instrument museum place. We had this lovely device that allows us to listen to the different instruments without them actually making sound in the live space, which was nice. Here's a very attractive picture of myself as I navigated the museum. Here is quite the musical contraption. Brusilia. I don't know what that means. Maybe Brussels. I don't know. Taking a look around back, you can see that not only is there some windpipes and stuff, there's a bass drum down there at the bottom. There's quite the motor driving that big old wheel, and a little snare drum down there towards the bottom. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, the narration was helpful. Oh, there's a bass, a pretty cool bass. Yep, pretty cool, right? Yep, pretty cool. I agree. And a little bit more of the architecture of the place. It's really, kind of got this old mansion vibe. Now this is a very scary area. Didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. This floor was dedicated to keyboard instruments, such as this, which looks like some sort of typewriter. Got some friends that are really into playing the keyboard instruments, so shout out to them. Here's a word that I thought was rather long, so I'm going to try to pronounce it for you here. Ein Schwach stark Test Tincasten. You are welcome. I will never repeat that again. Well, the musical instrument museum was very interesting. I think if I had been there with other musicians and I had a little bit more energy, I probably would have spent a little more time. But like a huge selection of different things, and a lot of it very non-traditional, very some of it more folksy, some of it, you know, obviously more world instruments from other cultures than your typical European ones. Mormons. Can't escape them. So according to that thing I just barely read as I was filming it, this was designed in the 1770s and required an extensive leveling of the terrain. It was originally a garden for the palace. I'm assuming the big palace over here that you may see in the background. And but no, this is when it was made public, I guess, and turned from a garden into this just gorgeous park. Interesting toenail polish decision. Can't say I've seen a lot of statues with toes. I don't know if you can really see this, but this very stately building is the Royal Palace of Brussels. And there's yet another one of these beer things. So what's interesting about this actually isn't the home of the King and Queen of Belgium. It is the more of the ceremonial home. So I guess they live on the outskirts of the city in kind of a lake palace of some kind. And yeah, they mostly open this up for use for the for state functions, like I said. I guess there's a room in here that has a whole bunch of beetles, like glass beetles, like 1.4 million of them. So, well, it's kind of getting to the heat of the day. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. So I am kind of headed back to my hotel, maybe do a little bit of editing, and I'm going to stop by a few of Brussels' beautiful parks along the way. Now walking up to Petit Sablon Park. Fun view back to the front of the park. That's it, that's the whole park. Cutting through a park can be a nice, refreshing alternative to more cityscapes. Look at all the people enjoying this park today. Well, my classmates are starting to arrive here in Brussels. My friend Celeste and her husband Bryce are here, and so probably going to meet up with them after a bit. Maybe do a little editing in the room. My feet are a little sore. It's been a long day. Been going about 6 hours, 5 hours. Well, I think that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. I don't really have any history doing videos like this, but I recently got one of these DJI Osmo Pocket 3s, and it's just a lot of fun to film with. It's so easy compared to some of the bigger rigs we use in my business. And so, yeah, if you like this, like and maybe comment down below and let me know what you liked, what you didn't. And yeah, maybe I'll do it again. Thanks.